Hi everyone, it's Leonie from Moonhaven here, and today I want to answer Michelle's query. She was asking me about which diffuser or oil burner to use and what is the difference. So I thought, well, great idea to make a video about that so I can tell everyone what I think. Now this, of course, is my personal opinion, but being a clinical aromatherapist and having worked with all these things for some time, many years in fact, it may be of some use, in my opinion, may be of some use to you. Okay, so look, the easiest and cheapest way to get into essential oils and burning them or diffusing them is to use a oil burner. Now these are candle based, that's the heat, the source that they use. We just pop the tea light in the bottom. We have a bowl at the bottom, up the top here, where you put some water. So you light this down here, heat the water up, put 4 or 5 drops of your essential oil or essential oil blend that you want to use, and let it go and diffuse into the air. Fantastic starter idea. 2 things about oil burners that are candle based. There's a safety factor. Every year there are a number of fires that start because of candles in the home. So where there's no open flame, there is a much reduced risk of having a fire. So there is a fire aspect to using these types of oil burners. The other one is that you cannot use them in nursing homes, hospitals, or public spaces, in fact in schools. So we actually have to go to another version if you're going to use your essential oils and diffuse them into public spaces. The other thing about using these oil burners is that they require water. Now, whenever I recommend a oil burner to any of our clients at Moonhaven, I always recommend you have a nice deep bowl so that it's always, you can fill it up with water so that you never run out of water, because when it does run out and the water has evaporated off, which can happen, especially if you're using anything longer than a 4-hour tea light candle, you will find that the oily residue left over from the essential oils will seep into the bottom of the glaze of the bowl, and over time that stains it and can become a fire hazard in its own right. So I always like to make sure that there's always water in the bottom of these bowls and to wash them out regularly. That's really important. Now, as I said, this is a very nice, easy, cheap way of getting into oil diffusion in the home. You can pick up a nice quality essential oil burner for about $20–25 with a nice deep bowl, good height here, because you don't want the candle to be too close to the bowl, because if it's the right height it just doesn't overheat the water, because that's important. Because as you may or may not know, essential oils do change the properties, and the chemical components that are released do change with heat. So that's one of the reasons why I like my diffusers, but we'll go into that later. So that's the essential oil burners using the candles as their heat source. Now the next one up is using the electrical oil burners that use electricity as the heat rather than using the candles. Now these are a little more expensive than the candle-based oil burners. They are obviously based on electricity, and they provide a heat source to the base of the bowl where you place your essential oils. Now with these you don't need to put water into the base of the bowl. You just put the oils directly onto the base in there. And so once again, wash them out often, but they don't get too hot, so that they can be used in public spaces, hospitals, nursing homes and schools. Because they don't get too hot, they won't burn you, but they still use heat to release the essential oils into the air. Now, as I said, I'm a bit of a purist, and I like to have my essential oils diffused at room temperature. I think that's the way nature intended them. That's when you smell your flowers, that you're not artificially heating those flowers. The sun may be warming them slightly, but they're not heated. so that releases the right volatile compounds into the air. So this heats a little bit higher than normal, maybe not as high as the candles. So I actually prefer the third option, and this is the diffuser. Now this is I'm going to put these over here so I can play with these properly. Now it's taken me many years to find a diffuser that I actually like, because there's a lot of sorry to say this, but there's actually quite a bit of rubbish out there and things that I don't agree with, or they're just shoddily made. These are made overseas, but I know they're personally tested by people who design them in Queensland, and I find that what I'm looking for in a diffuser I can find in it. So what I look for in a diffuser, well, I like to know that the diffuser will last between 7 and 8 hours at any one sitting. I want it to cut out when the water runs down low, and I also want it to, if it's knocked over or anything, I want it to be safe and not have any problems with electrical issues. So, and this is all of that. How do they work? Well, these are cool-based diffusers. What they have down the bottom here is this is the little mechanism inside. There's a little diaphragm right down in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a diaphragm right in the middle, and that vibrates ultrasonically. And what that does is give enough energy to the water to break it up into small molecules, makes a mist. And if you've got essential oils on the surface of that of the water, which is inside the bowl, if you've got essential oils in there, the water vapor that is sent out into the air takes a few of those essential oil molecules with it. So there's no heat involved. It's a cool dispersion or vaporization of the oils. And as I said, if it can last 7 or 8 hours, then you're getting a great economy from your essential oils every day. Now let me show you how this one works, because as I said, this is my favorite style of diffuser. It's got a number of markings up here. You can go no higher than this one here. That's the maximum. It's about 100 ml. I'm just going to put some water in there for you. Now it doesn't have to be any particular water. I'm actually using my filtered water because that's all I've got in my house. It's all filtered. Just fill it up to that mark. Usually they come with a lovely little measuring container, but of course I've been using this for many years and I lost that a few years ago, but that's okay. So you can fill that up. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put some beautiful essential oils in there, just a few drops of, got some sweet orange there, that's nice. I've just been making chai, 4, 5, and I've just been making chai, so I'm going to make an orange, sweet orange and cinnamon scent blend, because I just want to emulate that chai. It goes well with that chai I've just made. If you're interested in the recipe, there's another article in the website about that with the recipe and the video that goes along with it. So there I've put 3 or 4 drops of cinnamon, that's cinnamon bark, and some sweet orange in there. And that just sits on the top there. Now these are easy to put together. We just bring that round and just stick that together. Now if that falls over, it's going to cut out. It's not going to electrocute anybody, which is really good. The water's going to go everywhere, but that's not a problem. We can deal with that. So with this one, so that's ready to go. See, I've got it hooked up to electricity, and it's got two buttons here. This one here turns it on. Now immediately the mist is being diffused. Now in this mode it goes for 30 seconds and then cuts out. I like that because then you're not over diffusing into that room. You're not creating too much scent. It actually is quite a subtle scent. It's not going over the top. Now that smells divine. It's cool to the feel, to the touch. It's not going to burn anybody. And see, it's just turned itself off because it's having 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. That way, that water lasts for 7.5 to 8 hours, and I think that's brilliant. So you can leave in the morning and come home to it being still diffusing nicely, and this room is scented beautifully, or diffusing antibacterials or whatever you need into the atmosphere. Now there's another mode on this, which is continuous. This means it lasts for about 3.5 to 4 hours, and I use this in the sick rooms or if I've got a specific issue going on, and just continues to diffuse for that until the water runs out. Don't have to worry about the water running out. When it does, it just shuts itself off. Everything is safe. Now the other thing that goes on with this one is it's got a light, and it cycles through all the different colours in the rainbow, which I think is quite wonderful. And if you want to say I want to stay on that beautiful blue colour, I'll just leave it on that and it'll stay at blue. Or if I don't want it at all, turn it off. And if I want to go back to 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, just gone to green. Another one goes on to continuous, and then that's stop. So the reason I like this one is because it's a cold diffusion, so that means it's not changing the fundamental properties of the essential oil as it was meant to be scented and used. But having said that, the candle-based essential oil burner is a great starter, great way to start with essential oils. If you prefer a warmed essential oil, then the electric burners are quite useful as well. So we have all of these available at Moonhaven. These ones are on our website, and you can certainly order them if you want. If you have any questions, please ask me or ask anyone at Moonhaven. They know of how to deal with either of these, and I will put more information about these and how to use them in a blog post below. And of course, if you have any questions, just message us, give us a phone call, or email us. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. I will talk to you next time. Until then, have fun and definitely enjoy. Bye.